If it's up, then it's up. If it's up, then it's up. If it's up, if it's up, if it's up, then it's up.
Let's go. Hey, up, then it's up.
Casa party.
Yes. Let's go.
Hello everyone, you're welcome to another video. I'm Adedoyin Abraham, if you don't already know me. If you do, you're welcome back. From the title of the video, I'm sure you know what the video is all about. So grab a seat, grab a drink, grab your coffee, glass of wine. I have mine here. It's not wine, it's just red grape juice. And let's get right into the video. So today I'll be sharing my beginner-friendly organization tips. I've had a few people ask me, not in the comment section, but ask me privately to share how I organize my space, and that's what I'm here to do. Please speak to me in the comment section. Let other people enjoy from the wealth of your knowledge. But anyway, let's start. So, I don't think I'm the most organized person, but I do my best. I try my best to be. And it all starts from research. So I like to watch, most of the time when I'm on Snapchat, I'm there because I want to watch my organization videos. I like to watch, to do my research, because everybody is different, every space is different. The things you have that you need to store or organize is different. So you can't just stick to one person. You need to do your research to know what's this person doing, what are people, because with organization, it's not a one-size-fits-all. It depends on the space you are working with. It depends on what you are trying to store in the space, what you are trying to organize in the space. So that's the first thing first. You need to do your research to know what and how to fit stuff into places. Knowing your space. Secondly is research your options. On Instagram, there's loads of inspiration and ideas on how to organize, and the more you watch, the higher the probability you find something that actually works for you. That's one. You might have to pick an idea from one, another idea from another, and just mix and match like that, but eventually you find what works for you. Next thing is where to buy things from. I love spending money, so I'm your plug. I will plug you onto the best. Oh, another thing I forgot to add for the research is there's videos. So for example, there's like documentaries, or like, what are they called? I think they are called docu-series or documentaries of like people that organize. For example, there's the home edits that I watched on Netflix, and that was really helpful. I don't know if it was helpful. I really enjoyed watching it anyway. I don't know if I think I actually did take stuff from it. So yeah, if you are into that, you can try watching it. You probably enjoy it. Stores to buy stuff from in the UK, in England, when you're trying to organize. First, budget friendly is B&M. B&M has loads of stuff. B&M has many things you need for organizing. It has jars, it has bins, it has like even bins that have like layers and dividers, has so many of them. So B&M is very good for that. Home Bargains, maybe it's just the one I have here in Grimsby. I live in the middle of nowhere at the end of the earth. The Home Bargains we have here Last time I went there, they didn't really have many things for organization or to store stuff. I'm not sure why, but Home Bargains is quite good with that as well. Even Wilco, kind of good. I'm not sure I have a lot of stuff from Wilco, but Wilco is a good place to check. And then if you are not so strict with how much you want to spend and you just want the best stuff, go to Donnell. Donnell has amazing stuff, has beautiful stuff. They have their own brand stuff and they have like high-end, the jars, like the Keona jars and things. They have the XOXO pop jars. Those are the expensive ones. If you just want basic, I need a jar to store stuff in. Even regular Tesco, Asda, I'm not sure if Asda does, but I'm sure I have some jars from Tesco as well that I use at home. And then when it comes to things that you are not able to find in your physical shops, always go on Amazon. Amazon always has it. I'm not sure there's anything you want to buy that isn't on Amazon, so you can just go there and get the rest of the stuff. But yeah, that's it for the shops to get. The next point I have here is prioritize functionality to help maintain your organized space for the long term. So what I mean by this is try to make it as easy as possible to be able to make it functional for you. So for example, if there's a thing or there's a space that you use very frequently or very often, make sure that it's in front. For example, if it's like in a cabinet, let it be in front so that you are not having to move too many things to get to it all the time. Because the more you move stuff, you are busy. At least I'm a mom. Even before I became a mom, I'm busy more than half the time. I don't have time to organize every single time I'm using something. So if you keep it functional, it's easy to just take it out of a slot and slot it back in there. And another thing about that is have a bin for like random regular things, random regular use. So you have a place where you just put, for example, like your extras. Depends on what your extras look like or what you're storing extra. I'm sure I'll be putting the clips of all these things I'm saying somewhere in this video, or it may already be showing, I'm not sure. But like have a bin where you put like backup. So you have a jar, you put your, for example, rice in your jar, your extra rice. If it comes in a very big bag, then store your bag. And if it doesn't necessarily need to be stored anyway, then that's fine. But if it's like a small bag, then get a random bin, like a basket, something, anything, just to put and store the rest of the stuff in there. Next point I have here is make use of your vertical space. That's one thing many of us always forget about. Like you have a cabinet, there's so much space vertically, and we forget to use that to just store stuff this way, which is why I'm sure that the tiered racks and stands were invented. So there's racks and stands where you just arrange. I don't have any because I don't really think I need it, and it doesn't work for my space. But if it works for yours, then that's fine. Usually it's good for like tins and cans of stuff. So you get like a 2-tiered, 3-tiered like rack. So yeah, making use of your vertical space instead of putting everything just in front, you're able to display and it looks better. It looks more aesthetically pleasing when you just put it on the racks and it's just arranged that way. Another way to make use of vertical space is to stack stuff on top of themselves. So obviously organization is easier or looks better when you have the same thing or many. Back up a bit, when you have many of the same stuff. So for example, you're using the same type of like corned beef, sardines, milk, you just stack them on top of each other to maximize the vertical space, and then you start again, stack it on top of each other, start again, start it. That way you're able to make use of your vertical space and you're not just taking up all the horizontal space. I feel so out of breath. Yeah, so the next point, I think I kind of touched on it already, but it's the next point and I've missed something, so I'll be mentioning again, is you need to use bins for your extras. The extra point I was going to add is it's better when your bins have lids. So it could be bins. When I say bin, I mean like baskets or like plastic, anything, but preferably with lids because it's going to be extras. It's going to look messy. Like except you want to now organize the extras again, which for me, I don't think it's that bad to be organizing extras. I'm happy to just throw it, obviously not just dump it in there, but like just put it in there. But it looks better when there's a lid. That's what I'm trying to say, because you're just dumping things in there. When there's a lid, then it looks nicer. The ones I have at home, I'm not sure I remember where I got them from that have the lids. But when or if I add the clips of these things, then I'll just show the label if it's still on it, so you can know where I got them from. This next point, I know that I'll be shaking some people's tables, but the next point is you need to declutter. That thing that you think you're going to need, what if I need it in the next 3 years? You don't need it. If you're going to need it in the next, give somebody. Be charitable. Give it to someone. Buy it again the next. I know. There's no money to keep. But the thing is, if you're not entirely sure, if it's not something that is very useful to you, I'm sure you'll find a way. You don't absolutely need it. Get rid of it. As much as I've said this, I'm a hoarder. I know. I'm a hoarder. So I had to learn this. I had to breathe to adapt this into my life. I'm even trying to do that now, even with my clothes. Like, you need to declutter to be able to find space to organize stuff. If you don't declutter, you're just adding more and more things. At some point, you run out of space. You are back at square one. I'll be at point A. I don't know what you're back at. You need to declutter. You need to get rid of stuff, especially like random stuff that don't fit like with the rest of your things. Like, as much as I'm a hoarder, I really like when I have like multiple stuff that are easy to organize. So for example, what I'm trying to say is, even if I really like a drink and I want to buy it, I'm thinking, if I buy this drink, am I going to be able to store it? Am I buying just one? If I'm buying just one, I need to drink it as soon as possible, because it can't stay with the rest of my drinks in my fridge or in my bin, because that's mostly everything of the same thing. So I just stick to what I know. And that's what I mean by you need to declutter. Get rid of random, irrelevant things. You know if what you need, and you know that that thing you are thinking of that's coming to your mind at the moment, you don't need it. Get rid of it. It will make your life so much easier, and it will be useful to someone else. So that's the next point, declutter. We're almost coming to the end of this video. Yeah, so the last point is smaller stuff are easier to organize. Now this is a bit dicey. Reason why I'm saying that is this. I like to save money. When you buy stuff in bulk, it's cheaper to buy, like, for example, a large box of like cereal that comes in like 2 kg and in a whole 2 kg bag. It's cheaper to buy like a big 2-liter bottle of like iced coffee or juice than it is to buy like the smaller packs, basically. But I can promise you the smaller packs are easier to organize. So if you have to buy those bigger packs to be budget friendly, to be cost friendly, then you need to be able to balance it by getting smaller containers to put it in. So for example, your juice, you can get like smaller bottles, and then when you buy the big bottle, just decant it. I don't do that. But just many people I know that I watch do that. They just buy the big ones and they have smaller bottles. But I just think that's using up a lot of resources. Balance, at the end of the day, it's all balance. Everything I'm saying, you just pick what works for you and leave the rest. If nothing works for you, just watch it for vibes and go. Still watch it though, please. So you can just decant your juice into like smaller bottles, and then that's easier to store in your fridge. You can, I'm trying to think of something else that is better, smaller, but basically what I'm trying to say is, when you have a lot of the same thing that you're trying to put in one space, it's easier. Honestly, it really is. Don't beat yourself up about it. Being organized takes time. I've been on this organization thing Well, full time, when I say full time, like really serious about it since I got married. And that's more than 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago now. And I'm still at it. There's still loads of places in my house that I feel like, why does it look like this? It can be organized. It doesn't look organized. And there's still places where I feel like, even though it looks organized, I still want it to look like this. I still think it looks better. I just remember the last point that I didn't add and I was about to end this video is make use of wall space. Use up your wall space, use up your inside the door spaces like in your cabinet. So for example, there's no place to put like your towels and things. You can do like a rack or like, I can't remember, I think it's the self-adhesive hooks, or there's another one that's not a hook where you just pop your towel into it and it just hangs. But anyway, use up like wall space. So for example, in your bathroom, if you have that much space, you can just hang like your decanter thing. Get like a, I can't remember what it's called. If I find a picture of what I'm trying to explain, I'll put it up. So like a pump. There's a simple human one I've been eyeing, but it's expensive. And it has like it's three of the same thing. So it's labeled shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. And it's three of the same thing. It looks nice. It's a pump. You don't just have different bottles standing in your caddy, your shower caddy, and things. Like everything is the same. So you don't have just random things around. I'm not sure why I'm pointing here, like my shower is. But yeah, that makes things easier. And I can't think of anything else at the moment. If I can think of anything else, I'll try to highlight, and then all of these points and tips I will add to the description just to explain if you need to jot things down, because I always jot things down. I'm very big on writing, so I have all my points here. So I have all my points written down here. So if you need to write it, I can add it to the description. I'm not sure I'll remember to do that, but I can add it to the description box just to make it easier for you to refer to it if you don't want to have to listen to me ranting and droning on and on and on again. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. I don't want it to be too long. I might end up doing another one when I've organized my space a bit better to explain many of the things I don't have yet but I've said in this video. So watch out for that. Subscribe if you want to be notified when I drop that. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in another video. Until then, stay jiggy. You won't believe that I made a whole other video, or rather I started making a whole other video before I realized it was the wrong sit down video, and I started doing this. And this is all on an empty stomach at like, it's like 2 o'clock now. I'll see you all later. Bye.